that we need to continue to stand strong to defend everybody's rights and freedoms.
Hey guys, how you doing today? I know it's been a little while since I've done a walk and talk. And well, today's walk and talk, I don't even really have a topic per se. I have a general idea, concept of what I want to talk about today. But, so I'm just going to do this. I'm just doing this because, well, I was out for a walk and I decided I'm going to talk. Why not? It's kind of what I do, right? Yeah, winter's setting in pretty good around here. Oh, she's bitter today. Even got my gloves on. Look at this. Bloody cold. So I was reading an article today, and apparently Canada Growth Fund is investing $200 million in some new carbon capture program. Okay. And it got me thinking. Like, I'm really not going to knock on this thing. I think, whatever. It's actually probably not a bad idea, but, you know, we got to be careful on how much carbon we take out of the atmosphere. Otherwise, all them trees disappear. All that grass disappears. And what are we left with? Mars. Hey, I guess that's one way of finding out if we can survive on Mars. Anyway, my gloves are so slippery to hold the phone with. Anyway, I got to thinking about it, and I was thinking of all the different environmental ideas I had over the years. And are you kidding me? Can you guys see that skid right there? Somebody's already out here on a sled. I'm not sure if you can see that right there. Somebody's already out here on a sled. They're braver than I. Well, I mean, there could be 6 feet of ice there and I still won't want to go out there. But I'm just a big baby. Pardon me. So, one of the ideas I had, and this was back, I gotta think it was around 2010, maybe sooner than that. It might have been 2005, somewhere in that ballpark. You know, when all the talk about, you know, EVs are coming and all this jazz. And I was thinking to myself, you know, it doesn't make much sense to plug in a vehicle if we're trying to reduce emissions. It just didn't. So I tried to reach out to Ford, and that was impossible, which kind of shattered the whole idea and the dream and everything. The possibility of a concept for EVs and how to help the charging problems and such, and how to extend the range on them and such. And one of the things I came up with was just thinking about a vehicle in itself. Any vehicle, no matter where it's driving, is always causing wind turbulence. Well, if you're causing wind turbulence, that's the main downfall to wind turbines, is sometimes there's no turbulence and therefore there's no power to be generated. But if you're moving down the road and you're causing turbulence, well, why aren't you utilizing that? And this is what my concept was, is why don't you put like little wind turbines on vehicles so that they charge as they're driving down the road? Because, well, our atmosphere is thick, and if you're moving down the road, the displacement of the air causes turbulence, and you can create a funnel to generate more turbulence than you're actually generating, and you can generate power off of that with a little mini wind turbine. And then you know, people have told me since, oh, well, you know, you can't generate more power than you're using. Okay, and that's fair. Maybe we don't know the technology how to do that yet. But I'm not sure why we wouldn't be able to utilize something along this lines to extend the life of EVs, or, extend the range of EVs, or, help with the charging costs of EVs. And this was something I was thinking back in 2005, somewhere between 2005 to 2010, somewhere in that ballpark. And I tried to reach out to Ford, and that was just a nightmare trying to get a hold of them. So I gave up on that project and just like, all right, whatever. I'm way out of my league here. What do I know? I'm just a nobody is kind of what I thought. And I dropped it. Still hasn't been invented. Still not utilized to this day in EVs. And especially seeing as Trudeau is now making EVs mandatory by 2030. All new car sales must be EVs. Or 35, sorry. 2035, which is, dude, I get it. You create policy based on an agenda that the public agreed to when you got elected. But circumstances change, dude. Sometimes we can't afford to keep doing the things that you want to do, even if they are the right things to do. I'm not, how can I put this? Do you know humans would be safer if we put them in cryo chambers and never moved and fed them a nutrient-rich slurry, and humans would never cause a problem to the planet, and we would never have any harm come to us, and we would probably survive longer than we do naturally. But we don't do that because we believe in letting people live their lives. I don't think anybody wants to be locked up in a cryo chamber for their entire existence. I think that's just dumb. And while this is kind of the concept behind, you forcing Canadians to suffer while you try and implement a program that's supposed to save the planet. I don't know how Canada is going to save the planet, but apparently Canada is going to save the planet. Whatever. I don't know. It's just dumb. But anyway, I'm off on a tangent here. And that's not actually what I wanted to do today. I've actually been trying to get away from that nonsense. But I do have another concept. And it was this article that I read about the carbon capture. And the carbon capture program that Canadian taxpayers are now contributing $200 million to through the Canada Growth Fund. That's it. Canada Growth Fund. Sorry, anytime I see a G in the government of Canada, I think green. Because, well, it's all they ever talk about these days. Is how they're saving the environment. Yeah. But anyway, a number of years ago, just before the pandemic started, I was actually researching a project for a product that would be available to every single household in Canada. Or, well, you can expand it out to the world if you want. That would actually be a carbon capture and a way to take carbon out of the atmosphere and store it. And I've researched the science behind it, and it all makes sense. I just don't know how to go about creating the product. It's actually cost effective. I figure it'll probably cost the average homeowner initial setup probably $50, maybe $100 with labor, and even that's, I'm pushing it a lot. And then on an annual basis, maybe $20. Okay, and it's a passive thing. It doesn't require energy. It doesn't require anything. But I don't know how to go about marketing, getting the proper studies done, and all this jazz. I just don't know how to do it. And I think there's a lot of people out there that have this same problem. I don't even know who I would go to sell the idea to so that they could do it and they know how to do it or whatever. And I think this is a problem. And so if you guys have any ideas... Oh, I got visitors. Don't mind me, I'm just going to be talking to myself on a YouTube here, so... Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe you guys know something, you know, a way to do this. I don't know. I don't know what to do with the information. From the science I read, and the way the chemistry works, it says it works. But I have no way to prove whether it works or not. Isn't that kind of cool over there? It looks like a rocket went off over there. That's kind of a cool little shot there. Got my gloves on, I can't zoom in. Sorry. So yeah, I thought I'd, you know, come take a walk and have a little chat with you guys. Enjoy a little sunset, even though it's bloody cold out today. But let me hear what you think. All right. It is the modern era. And we need to accept the fact that we are moving to this electric vehicle thing. I think being forced on us is wrong. I think it should be something that people gradually transition to on their own. But who am I, right? Anyway, if you have any ideas on how I could go about creating this product or marketing this product or finishing the proof of concept, reach out to me. I'd be very grateful to hear from you. Or selling the idea to somebody. I don't know. Well, I'm pretty sure the idea is already used. It's just not used in the manner that I'm thinking of using it in. And, yeah. Anyway. Welcome to the Fringe, everybody. Welcome to the Fringe.